More and more of us are deciding to have our children later.
Careful.
But there are some mums who just can't wait. Meet the baby-faced mums.
People I don't know me as the girl that's got a child at 15.
Swapping nights out with mates.
I think this definitely needs to go now.
For nights in with nappies.
So tired.
But are they ready for what lies ahead?
I've never had that much responsibility. The most responsibility I've had is my hamster.
Coming up, leaving teenage dreams behind.
I knew that my modelling days were over. I can't do whatever I want because someone's going to rely on me and call me mummy.
I certainly don't think this is what I planned to be doing at 18 and sitting here and playing with an almost 2-year-old. Yet here I am.
And when babies dampen young love.
I'm taking precautions to make sure that there is no more baby Murchisons in the near future. Mainly abstinence.
It's freezing.
In Preston, 18-year-old Maddie Mitchell is 6 months pregnant.
It's such a happy moment finding out, and then as the weeks have gone on, watching my stomach now moving, it's oh, I love it.
Today, along with her 39-year-old boyfriend David and Mum Marie, she's getting a glimpse of her baby boy.
Wow.
We've been together just over a year now, and I guess I love everything about him, absolutely everything. How we can sit off together and talk nonsense and never get bored of each other.
His nose is bigger than his hands.
No need for any paternity test there, Mr. Dunn.
The baby was planned because me and David have this connection and this bond that I've certainly never felt with someone else, and neither has David, so it was just the right thing to do at the right time.
Can you give his nose a little prod to see if it'll go back to normal?
I thought the opportunity had passed me by to have a baby. I didn't think it was going to happen. It's the best feeling I've had so far in my life, without a doubt. It beats like getting your driving licence or anything like that. I was absolutely delighted.
David and Maddie's mum Marie met before Maddie was even born.
David worked in a office with my mum, and my mum was his boss about 20 years ago.
When Maddie and David got together, everybody was wary. People said, you must be mad, don't let your daughter go out with a man of that age. But to be honest, they were people who didn't really know David. They thought that his intentions were not honourable, shall we say. But they don't know him. He has a heart of gold. He really has. He's got a lot of love to give.
When we first got together, because of our age difference, I did get a lot of, not so much hate, but bad comments and stuff. But you soon get over it.
We've had messages through social media and the occasional email here and there, and I think maybe once or twice people have shouted stuff out of a car window at one of us, but it is what it is. We're just two people now who fell in love, and no one can really help that, you know what I mean? It just happens.
Before she fell pregnant, Maddie was studying tourism and event management at university. She was also an aspiring teen model.
I started modelling after a photo shoot my mum bought me for my 18th birthday. I got on so well with the photographer, so I carried that on, and he suggested to me to do a beauty pageant. I've been crowned Teen Beauty of Lancashire 2014. A lot of girls, I suppose, that enter the beauty pageants do get portrayed as being dumb, but we're not. We are genuine girls who love making friends and just love diamonds. No, I don't have any beauty pageant things coming up because they don't like people being pregnant. I don't know why.
When Maddie posted some of her photos online, she caught David's eye.
Through Maddie's modelling work, I started noticing pictures here, there and everywhere, and I suppose as you do, you just make the odd comment, and the odd comment becomes a text message, and I had to try hard for it, but about a month or two later we went out on our first date, and now here we are now, living together, happy as ever.
Oh, do you remember that day that we painted the nursery and covered ourselves in paint?
Maddie's baby isn't due for another 3 months, but she's got every last detail planned out.
I'm having a natural birth, yeah, but because I'm at such low risk, I think I'm having it in a midwife centre rather than a main hospital. So like I can have a birthing pool, little glittery stars in the ceiling, stuff like that.
On the day when he arrives, the pain's gone. What are you looking forward to the most?
The pain doesn't just go, you know. It was there for ages. But I'm looking forward to holding him.
Is that what you...
Just want to see him now.
Is it nice? You're being a good girl this morning, aren't you? Everybody said being a mum's hard, but until you are actually a mum, nothing ever gets you ready for it. Nothing prepares you for the emotional side of it. Nothing prepares you for being exhausted and emotional. And although you get so much happiness out of it, it's hard work.
In Carlisle, 20-year-old Lauren Murchison is mum to 8-month-old Evie and wife to Duncan.
When I was sort of 18, I was quite selfish. It was Lauren, and Lauren was the most important person. And as time's gone on, Duncan then became the most important person. Now it's just Evie.
I therefore proclaim they are husband and wife.
4 months into their relationship, Duncan proposed, and they tied the knot just 6 months later.
When I walked down the aisle, I genuinely thought I was about to have a heart attack. The minute we got to the hotel room after the wedding, we sat on the bed and we said no more for a long time. We just want a quiet life.
Oh. The whirlwind continued for the teen newlyweds when they relocated to be close to Duncan's family.
We moved up to Cumbria from Blackpool, and a few months after that we found out we were pregnant. It was just shock. I was in denial for a week that there was a baby inside me, but we were very, very happy.
We both said that we would want to be parents at some point in our lives. We didn't think it'd be that quick, but it was something we kind of thought, well, it's happened now, so we'll embrace it and we'll see where it goes from here. Let's leave it.
She'll be asleep in a few anyway. You can see that she's tired. Your whole life changes so much after you've had a baby. You don't ever really adjust to it. You just sort of sit there and think, wow, that's my life now. I have a baby, and every day is a complete shock.
Just a year after becoming a baby-faced bride, Lauren became a full-time baby-faced mum.
I've done most of the legwork today. You put tea on.
To support the family, Duncan got himself a job as a kitchen designer.
Duncan works very long hours, 6 days a week, providing for the both of us.
Just picked up some chicken and that on the way home, so I'll cook tonight something nice and easy.
While Duncan's happy to cook for Lauren and Evie, he's less interested in the dirty work.
He brings her over to me and goes, Evie wants a mummy cuddle. So I think, oh, that's really nice, and I fall for it every time because she's got a dirty nappy, and it literally annoys. Oh, it's so annoying.
Tea's ready.
How many nachos have you made again? I'm guessing you're hungry. Is there any cheese?
Yeah, if you want it.
Oh, and mayo.
Fussy.
I'm not fussy, I'm just particular. Do you remember when we used to make stuff like this at the flat all the time?
Yeah, but it used to take twice as long to cook because there was only one tiny oven.
Oh, that was so funny. It actually feels like it was forever ago. She has absolutely changed our perspective on things. I mean, people say, like, now, do you not feel like you're missing out? And it's like, no. We get to do everything we've ever wanted to do, but with the joy of having our little girl with us. It actually makes me wonder what we were doing with ourselves before we had Evie. It's a big change, but it's not a negative in any which way. It's just different to maybe what a lot of people at our age would imagine to be fun or whatever. I love spending time together when Evie's gone to bed. It's nice to just sit and talk, reflect mainly, yeah. It's fun.
Lauren's not romantic, full stop.
I think as far as romance goes, it's so hard to actually keep up a romantic
It's
relationship.
hard, is it?
Yeah.
Stop with it.
It's hard to keep up a romantic relationship when you know your baby's asleep in the next room and the dog's on the landing and you haven't dusted, so keeping up a romantic, spontaneous relationship is near on impossible. I think I'm going to go clean up and then get a shower and go to bed. And then we'll start all this again tomorrow.
Coming up, young student mum Abby has her hands full.
Yeah. There's times it's really difficult to keep my cool when Sandra's playing up.
And pregnancy can be a bumpy ride.
I've got to use insulin in the morning. A needle goes in that top bit, and then you can either do it in your stomach or your thigh. I just gotta breathe up, be a mummy.
daisies. Uh-oh. Oh, slow down. Oh, slow down. I certainly don't think this is what I planned to be doing at 18, sitting here playing with an almost 2-year-old. Yet here I am. That's enough.
Abby Allen fell pregnant at just 15 with Xander, who's now 2.
Once I had Xander, I went from being a teenager who didn't really have any cares to having this little tiny baby that was totally dependent on me. When I'm walking in town now, when I see younger people doing, things that teenagers do, I'll be like, oh, don't do that. And the whole swearing, I get really aggravated at that outside. I'm like, mommy boy's here, do you mind? So, yeah, you do. You just become a mother and lose all that teenager out of you. Hi, Mum. Sound asleep.
She changed from being a teenager to a parent, which I think was hard for her at first, because she said, Mum, I'm still a teenager, but I feel like a mum. You're doing so well.
As we had our tough times, that's the thing. We didn't have a fallout.
We've had a lot of arguments.
But see, that's the thing, you were there from the very start. You helped me get through the pregnancy. I was in a 2-bedroom house with my mum, my mum's partner, my sister, me and Xander. I was arguing with my mum a lot and that led to us falling out. I needed to mature for him in order to give him the best life.
But be honest, yeah, she was completely out of control. And it was a lot of tears, a lot of arguments, and a lot of sleepless nights.
After a rocky period with her mum, Abby left home with Xander when she was 16 and moved to Glasgow near to her grandmother. She's been on hand to help, allowing Abby to study at college.
Hello, mister. Obviously, it wasn't my greatest wish for her to be a young mum at that age, but I think it's been actually the making of her. It's been a bit of a struggle, but she's got there and she's really doing well now.
Do you remember that one? That was the first photo that was
taken. For goodness sake! Look at the size of her there. Well, you just look like a wee lassie, a wee girl. I mean, that must have been tough, yeah? 16 and having a baby.
Well, but I wouldn't change it.
It was still a hard time, wasn't it?
I fell pregnant at 15. At first I was completely numb. I remember not having any feelings at all. I just didn't know what to do. I was so young. I thought, how is this going to affect everything? I, at the time, felt very isolated because I hadn't told my mother. I was too scared to see what she would think. I hadn't told family.
When the relationship with the baby's dad completely broke down, then 15-year-old Abby felt she had no choice but to take a drastic step.
I decided the only option I thought I had to do was to terminate the pregnancy. I told my mother I was going away for an asthma clinic in Inverness.
But in fact, she had booked into a clinic for a termination.
I remember after taking the first tablet, I was terrified, I was distraught. I knew straight away what I'd done was a huge mistake. This wasn't me, and I'd slipped into really quick depression, and I remember lying on the bed that I had there. At that point, I told my mum, good boy, wake her.
She was in tears, and she said, I don't know if she said, I want to keep him, I want to keep the wee one.
Despite having begun the termination, Abby had an extraordinary outcome.
She'd had the scan, and the wee one was still alive. So it was a nice moment because he was alive. At the same time, I was like, this is real. This is actually real.
I knew in my heart that this is what I was going to do, and my life was now going to revolve around this wee boy that was going inside me. You're a bit tired? You want to go have some lunch?
Yeah, to see him now is great because it's lovely. They're just made for each other. Yeah, he's a wee miracle now. Yeah.
Right, that one. Me too. After 12 weeks, after everything had gone on, I wrote him a diary of every day through my pregnancy, and about 2 weeks after he was born, and that is to tell him everything that happened, the emotions I felt. That way, when it comes to the time, once he's old enough to understand, I can give him the diary, and he can understand from my point of view what I went through. I would like to think the future is going to be a continuation of onwards and upwards. I want to go off to university, get a good job, so Xander grew up to have the life that I want him to have, and me to grow up to fulfill all the dreams that I said I would have. Uh-oh! You can put them back yourself this time.
In Preston, a routine checkup has revealed a problem with Maddie's pregnancy.
I've got gestational diabetes, which is just something that develops in some pregnant women, but it goes once you've had your baby. But it just means that I've got to like monitor my blood sugars and everything, and control with diet, but that didn't work, so I got put on medication and that didn't work. Now I've got to use insulin in the morning. A needle goes in that top bit, and then you can either do it in your stomach or your thigh, but I don't know, there's something strange about putting that near the baby that I don't really like. My mum had gestational diabetes when she was pregnant with me, so that straight away made them want to test me. It is really scary, but you know that you've got to do it for the baby, because otherwise he's in danger and so am I, so I just gotta brave up, be a mummy.
In the last few weeks, Maddie's blood sugar levels have increased, so doctors want to induce her early.
They're not going to let him go any further past 38 weeks. He will be delivered for 38 weeks. Obviously it is a worry, but I know that he's going to be safer coming 2 weeks earlier, so I don't know, I suppose I've got my head around it. It was just a shock to the system, really. Can't wait for him to come now. And I can't wait to get rid of this diabetes. Thank goodness it goes after he comes. Who is it? Hi!
Maddie's two younger sisters, Mackenzie and Tabitha, have popped round to check out the preparations for baby.
Come to look at the nursery.
Yeah, come to see it.
Yeah, go upstairs.
Oh, this is really cute.
Oh,
Mum's not going to be happy about that ever since then.
Finished it yesterday, do you like it?
Yeah, it's really nice.
We've got presents around for him. Oh. Look how cute this is. Oh, that's so cute.
Now it's 6 to 12 months, but it's got...
Oh my god. How lovely.
How cute is it? Well, okay, because it's going to be true.
It's going to be true though. Where there? And down there. I think he's just like turned over, maybe. Because his head's there, his feet are there, and that's his bum, and that's where he always moves.
Are you worried about him coming early then? Or are you alright about it?
Now that I've had to start using insulin injections, you've got to make sure at all times that like someone's around you and everything, because you can just pass out and black out. And imagine doing that at like 38 weeks pregnant. It's too scary.
It's too risky as well.
So I'm actually quite glad that they've decided to bring him early.
Do you like it then? Yeah. It's really, really nice. Can't wait. I know, yeah. What are you doing?
Hello! Hi, baby! Hey, baby!
Was it worthwhile? Yeah, it wasn't too bad this time. No. Making progress, so...
Every other week, Lauren sees a counsellor, and her mother-in-law Karen looks after baby Evie.
You've been a good girl.
She was diagnosed with postnatal depression 8 weeks after Evie was born.
I remember feeling completely overwhelmed, and I was looking at Evie in a Moses basket under the window asleep, and it hit me straight in the face that I was responsible for that baby, and I always would be, and it throws you.
Having settled with Duncan 100 miles from her own family, Lauren was without her usual support network.
When I moved to Carlisle, I had no friends. I didn't know anybody. I didn't feel like I was strong enough to go through day to day. I felt so alone in being a parent. I could never imagine being any lower.
Lauren was advised by her GP to have psychotherapy sessions to help her through the adjustment from teenager to young mum.
Evie? What's that? How did it go? What, did you go over quite a lot this week, or just certain areas, certain things, or...?
Oh, it was just things like self-esteem and keeping on sort of like a positive track, so it was definitely worthwhile.
I've just tried to be there for her the whole time. My main support, I suppose, is looking after Evie when she needs me to, or coming for a chat when she needs a chat. Sometimes she just wants somebody to come and sit with her and have a chat and go for a walk, or, you know, just being at the end of the phone.
So many people say to me, I hate my mother-in-law and she's such a pain in the neck. I absolutely love mine, and I couldn't imagine going through this whole process without her, because as much as she is Evie's grandmother, she's like my mother and then some.
I think that's the trouble sometimes. People won't look for help, will they? They don't go,
No.
They struggle and they don't try and find help, and they know they need it, but they don't try and find it.
I've had a lot of support, and everything's gone from strength to strength. And I'm enjoying being a mum again. I'm enjoying watching Evie grow and enjoying being here for her.
The therapy sessions are definitely helping her, absolutely, because she's a different person to what she was a few months back. She's dealing with everything. She's getting the reality of it all. She's putting everything in boxes and closing doors once she's dealt with things. So yeah, she's doing really, really well with it.
I have definitely bounced back, and I do want to be a wife and I want to be a mum, and I'll always want to be that. So that's the most important thing to me now.
In Glasgow, student mum Abby is trying to leave the house with 2-year-old Xander.
Quick, brush your hair, okay? Open the door. There we go.
Next challenge, the bookshop.
Come on. Come on, you see the books? Okay. No, we can't run in here. Look, we're looking at stuff. Stand there. There's times it's really difficult to keep my cool when Xander's playing up, but he doesn't understand and he's just getting frustrated, so you can't really blame him. You can keep trying. It's so difficult with Xander running around trying to find books that I need. Oh dear, that is enough. I've learned to appreciate what my mum has done for me and how much she's bared through now that I've got Xander, that's for sure. Sit on the chair. Sit on the chair. You just need to chill out a bit, don't you? Are you going to be a good boy and come off? Okay? You need to behave. Right, these two, please.
Abby has managed to finish college, despite having to juggle her studies with looking after a toddler.
£7, please.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
She's hoping to go on to university if she gets the grades.
Thank you. I don't think there is a right answer to saying if I'm ready or not for university while being a parent. You know, the situation's going to be harder from college. I think it's just finding the balance between raising Xander and getting my studies out of the way.
Coming up, Abby's dreams of uni hang in the balance as her college results come in.
There's been times I've sat in tears thinking I'm not going to pass this, I'm not going to get there. So this day really means everything to us.
And Lauren wonders if all young mums lose that loving feeling.
But you not find like by the time you've done like all the housework and everything, you're too tired?
Well, you've always got time for that.
Yeah.
In Carlisle,
Evie, you're going to go to sleep.
Lauren is meeting Jana, a friend she made at a local mother and baby group.
Ricky! Evie's asleep, as always.
A young mum herself, Jana is someone Lauren is able to confide in.
I must admit, our relationship completely changed when Evie sort of arrived.
It does. Having babies changes your life.
So, like, I take it you and Stephen time is completely out the window now?
Well, you've always got time for that.
Yeah.
Well, he goes to bed early, doesn't he?
But you not find like by the time you've done like all the housework and everything, you're too tired?
Oh yeah, I'm always too tired.
I'm exactly the same.
What are you going to do when you have a second though?
I'm not going to... Well, if I say I have a second... Oh,
Oh my God.
would you like a watch it?
By the time he comes in from work and like, even when I don't have Evie, I'm still cleaning the house constantly and stuff, so...
Even with Stephen working nights, I always go mad at him to try and get a night off so we can go to the cinema or something.
Spend some time together. Well, I suppose we could maybe try that.
What did you do as a couple when you weren't married and didn't have a child?
For 6 months before we had Evie, we sort of lived with his mum and dad, so doing anything as a couple then was really awkward, because obviously, like, the room next to us was his sister and the room opposite was, like, his mum and dad. So everything was done awkward. Actually baffles me how we managed to, like, conceive a child in that situation. I'm taking precautions to make sure that there is no more baby Murchisons in the near future. Mainly abstinence.
Are you wearing your chastity belt?
All the time. No, it's like you try and like get in the mood, and it's like, oh wait, there's a bird outside. Let's not. Or like, can you smell dirty nappies? That's a good one to sort of put him off.
Was that funny? Did you say something funny?
Babies change everything, Blakey, apparently. Wait till you and Evie are married.
Would you like that?
Maddie's going to be induced in 2 weeks, and dealing with the diabetes is taking its toll.
I'm having to go in and out of hospital every week to make sure my blood sugars are okay and that baby's okay. Things are getting more difficult, yeah, because I've also been diagnosed with a skin infection that a lot of pregnant women get. It's just difficult coming to terms with it all. I just want the baby here now. Fed up with being pregnant.
To give her a much-needed boost, partner David has arranged a maternity photo shoot for her.
Be careful, Bear.
Well, we'll do some stood up ones and then we'll move on to the lying down ones. Is that alright? I suppose when me and David decided that we were going to have a baby, I knew that my modelling days were kind of over. Today is to like create memories, whereas this time last year it was all about money and getting into magazines and stuff, and that doesn't really interest me anymore. Is that hard? When I have the baby, I do want to get back to like my normal self and my normal size, but I know that I'll always know that I have carried somebody inside of me, and I'll never go back to looking the way I did, because obviously I've got my little tiger stripes now. This time last year I was like Teen Beauty of Lancashire 2014, and now it's like I can't do whatever I want because someone's gonna rely on me and call me mummy. I can't wait for that moment. It's not just about putting makeup on and going for photo shoots at the weekends anymore.
Life's different already, isn't it? The sleepless nights have already started, and he's not even here yet.
No.
You change it for the world now.
No, I would never go back. I'm so glad we are having a baby. I just can't wait for him to get here now.
Yeah.
So excited.
Oh. Next time we come here and we sit down, he'll be here and we'll be pushing him along in a little pram. Maybe is he allowed a bit of ice cream?
Depends when we're planning on coming back. Can't have ice cream at a week old, can he?
In Glasgow, today's a big day for Abby.
Is that up? Yeah, nice sandals. We're going out to see my college lecturer about getting my grades. Well, it determines if I go to the university I want to go to, which is UWS in Paisley. I need a B grade.
Getting into the local uni would mean that Abby's gran could continue to give her and Xander the support they need.
I've worked so hard this whole year to get to this point. I've had to wait until 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night before I can even sit down and do revision, which pays its toll, it definitely does. The course that I've just done involved doing something you'd do in school over 2 years in 1 year, so on its own it's high intense. Having a child has doubled that intensity. There's been times I've sat in tears thinking I'm not going to pass this, I'm not going to get there. So this day really means everything to us. I'm meeting my friend Hannah, who was in college with me. Who's that? Yeah. How you feeling?
I'm good, yeah.
It's good.
Just a bit nervous.
Yeah, me too.
The girls have arranged to get their results from their lecturer, but there's a problem.
Sadly, we didn't get our results. She wasn't in. We've just got to wait a bit longer for her grades. It's a bit frustrating, but nothing we can do about it.
They've been promised their grades by phone later in the day. After 3 hours of tense waiting, Abby still hasn't got her exam results.
We're waiting on my lecturer calling to give us the results. I'm feeling terrified because it means so much to me, and yeah, I don't really know what to say. I'm kind of like numb at the moment. My stomach's just turning. You don't give Mum a cuddle? Okay, Mum, get a cuddle? Hey, you need to calm down. Mummy's not feeling well. Hey. I generally feel like I haven't got it. I feel like
Yeah, but you always feel like that. After every single night, you're like, I haven't got it. And you're like, you passed, Abby.
yeah, most of them. I'm panicking because she feels bad for me and just not calling them. Oh no. Hello?
Abby needs 3 Bs to get into the university she wants.
Hiya. Yeah, I'm fine to speak now. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Am I alright to put you on Hannah now? No, I did. I got 3 Bs exactly. So she went baby and then stopped and I'm like, gosh, don't say C, please don't say. Everything alright?
Yes.
Okay, thank God for that.
We've got him in.
I'm gonna have to put my hands in mine. I can't. I don't know if I should cry or laughing. We're all done. We're all finished. Yeah. Are we all finished? I don't know how I feel. Thankful but extremely numb at the moment. I'm like we were talking about, we're just not sure it's sunk in yet. It's taken a while, but I'm really pleased. I think that is the main thing. Pleased that, you know, we've got here. I'm saying that me and Xander got here, you know, did it for him and myself. Hi, Mum. I got my results. Yeah, I got my 3 Bs. I know that I was so terrified before at my stomach. She said she was really pleased. She knew I'd do it. She said she got me something nice as well. My sister was there and I could hear her shouting in the background saying she was really proud of me as well, which was really nice to hear from her. So yeah, I feel good that I've done my mum and my sister proud. You know, we've been able to do that and Mum can see that she's got a daughter that's in university now.
I'm so proud of Abby. She's just an amazing person. I know I've been struggling and I don't have Xander, and she's just managed to do so much and raise Xander at the same time.
Yeah, take both. That might be easier. I do it like that. I'd say the last 2 years have definitely been a challenge. They've been full of their ups and downs, tears, stress, but more importantly, there's been some incredible memories. I don't regret anything. I'm so glad I had Xander.
It's 2 and 3 years together.
Yay! University, here we come. Yay! I think it's quite exciting, you know, seeing how we've came on in this, you know, the past few years. It just shows you anything can happen and you really can't depict how your future is going to go, but I'm determined that we're going to work at, you know, university and Xander growing up, so it's exciting. High five, Mum. Yay!
Coming up.
Oh no, Joshua, no!
A steep learning curve for new mum Maddie.
He's so sweet on me.
And will Lauren make Duncan's day on his 21st?
Duncan, did you wish for sex by any chance?
No.
Look at me.
In Carlisle, Lauren is preparing a celebration for husband Duncan's 21st birthday.
You helping with me? Tonight for Duncan, I'm going to cook chicken sort of in pastry parcels. I did it for him a few weeks ago and he really, really liked it. And sort of like an Indian feast for him. I don't enjoy cooking. I'd rather be playing with Evie or something like that.
I've got a sneaky suspicion Lauren's going to try and do something nice, pull something out of the bag. She might make me a candlelit dinner and have a cuddle on the couch.
I was thinking about doing sort of a romantic meal, but I've decided to invite his mum and his sister round. Originally we were a really sort of hands-on, lovey-dovey romantic couple, but as time's gone on, we appreciate sort of family time more. Glasses off.
Smells good.
1, 2, 3. Surprise!
Oh my god.
You've done your teeth.
You've made a feast.
Yeah. And I've even surprised you by doing.
The chicken pasties you did last week.
Yep.
They're well nice then.
Someone wants a drink.
It may not be a romantic meal for two, but Lauren's efforts are still hitting the spot.
Happy birthday, son.
Thank you very much.
Have a good weekend.
Enjoy the party.
Thank you.
Nice. I've got you a couple of presents. Use them wisely.
Oh God. These for me?
Yeah. Candy nipple tassels. Beautiful.
I don't think you'd make the cabaret bar. This one I think will benefit you most in work.
In work?
In life and in every aspect. Definitely.
Stress poop.
You've got no excuse for harassing me anymore. He'll be like, nope, go and get your boobs. 1, 2, 3. I know what you're gonna wish for. Duncan, did you wish for sex by any chance?
No.
Look at me.
Lauren can guess what she wants to guess about my wishes, but she'll never find out unless they come true.
Bye. Enjoy the rest of your night.
I'm sure we will.
Okay. See you.
Great. That was nice, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think you did a good job. Nice food. Nice company. Funny surprises. What more can you ask for?
Did you like the surprises?
Yeah, they're alright. What more can you ask for when you're 21?
It's strange though how like people can spend like 20 years together and nothing will change, and we've spent like 3 years together and everything's changed. It's so strange.
It is weird.
Good change though.
Yeah, for
There's
the
been a
better.
few bad changes. Obviously, the past year has probably been the hardest.
Well, it has, but everything's moving forward, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
Aww.
In Preston, 3 days after being induced, baby Joshua was born. Now, Mum and son are finally home.
You like this sunlight, it'll be good for your skin there.
Amazing being his mum. It's worth it, isn't it? All the pain that I went through. Definitely my lips, but they're your eyes, aren't they? And the eyelashes. Mine are fake. They're yours.
Going from a teenage beauty queen to a teenage mum is taking some getting used to.
Oh no, Joshua, no! He's just weed. He's just weed on me. You little bugger. It's a bit like the diabetes, I suppose. Every hour I was having to check my blood sugars and it became normal and a routine. And every hour now I'm changing his nappy and it's just a normal routine, except for when he wheezes on me. There we go, we're nice and quiet now because we're warm. I didn't think I'd be changing nappies a year ago, but I'm glad that I am. Wouldn't change anything for the world now. I love him so much. Oh, it's a hard life. Oh. This time last year I was Team Beauty of Lancashire 2014, and now I'm mummy. I'm not missing out on anything. I love my life now. I love being mummy to a gorgeous little boy. Wouldn't have done anything any different. I didn't think it was going to be, I know it sounds stupid, but as rewarding as it is, because getting up like every 2 hours to feed him, but you don't care because it's your baby, and I literally could sit here for hours just staring at him. Since we've been home for a week, the TV has been on for 2 hours last night. Just can't stop looking at him.
Next time on Baby-Faced Mums, childhood sweethearts have to grow up fast.
First time I saw Dan, he was in my art class. He smiled at me and I smiled back. Didn't expect it to turn into anything else.
Another young mum has a lot on her plate.
No. As soon as I get up in the morning, it's go, go, go. Rush, it is chaos.
And will it be a happy ending for this mum to be?
I don't know if baby's coming first or daddy's coming first. Just hope daddy comes first.
Next on 5 Star, we're with the children of the welfare system as they share their experiences of life in the latest episode of 12 Years Old and on Benefits.